The house was quiet, too quiet. Sarah had always liked the peace of living alone, but tonight, the silence felt heavy, like the air before a storm. She curled up on the couch, a book in hand, trying to ignore the way the old floorboards creaked on their own. Then, just as she turned a page, she heard it. A whisper. Faint, like rustling leaves, but unmistakably human. Her fingers froze mid-sentence. The wind, she told herself. Just the wind sneaking through the cracks of her aging home. She forced herself to keep reading, but the whisper came again, this time, a hissing sigh from somewhere behind the walls. Days passed, and the whispers grew bolder. They slithered through vents, echoed down empty hallways. Sarah checked every window, every door, but found nothing. Then, one night, as she lay in bed, the voice spoke clearly, a rasping, guttural whisper from inside her closet. Sarah. Her blood turned to ice. No mistake. No imagination. Something had just said her name. Heart hammering, she grabbed a flashlight and approached the closet. The door creaked open, revealing nothing but shadows and hanging clothes. Then, a draft. Cold air seeped from a gap in the back panel. With trembling hands, she pushed aside a stack of boxes and found it, a hidden crawl space, barely big enough to crawl through. The beam of her flashlight shook as it revealed layers of dust, and a single, small handprint pressed into the grime. Fresh. A child's. From the darkness beyond, the whisper came again, closer now, hungry. Sarah. She slammed the panel shut. But as she backed away, something scratched softly from the other side. The walls were listening. And now, they knew her name. The bathroom light buzzed softly as David leaned over the sink, splashing cold water on his face. When he straightened up, wiping droplets from his stubble, he froze. His reflection blinked. He hadn't. David leaned closer, gripping the porcelain. The mirror showed his own face, same tired eyes, same faded t-shirt, but something was off. The reflection's pupils seemed darker, wider, as if drinking in the light. Then, impossibly, its lips twitched. Just once. A ghost of a smile. David stumbled back, knocking over a toothbrush. What the hell? Silence answered. Shaken, he retreated to the living room, telling himself it was exhaustion. The late hours at work. The stress. But as he flipped through TV channels, a sound cut through the static, his own voice, calling from the kitchen. David. Clear as day. His exact tone. The remote slipped from his fingers. He crept toward the kitchen, every hair standing erect. Empty. The fridge hummed. A single coffee cup sat drying by the sink. Then, a whisper behind him. David. He whirled around. Nothing. Just the hallway mirror at the far end, reflecting his pale face back at him from 20 feet away. Except. His reflection wasn't moving when he was. It stood perfectly still. Smiling now. And behind it, a shadowy figure loomed, tall, featureless, its hands resting on reflection David's shoulders. As real David watched in horror, the figure's mouth opened in sync with another whisper from right behind him. We see you. The lights went out. The house was perfect, hardwood floors, a wraparound porch, and just enough space for the baby they'd been trying for. But from the first night, Emily heard it. A child's voice. Muffled, distant, drifting up through the basement vents. "Help me." She'd jolt awake, straining to hear. Silence. Then, just as she'd drift back to sleep, please, so faint it could have been the wind. "Old pipes," Mark mumbled into his pillow when she shook him awake. "Or the neighbor's TV." But the voice came every night. Always the same plea. Always from below. One evening, as Mark worked late, Emily stood at the basement door, hand hovering over the knob. The voice had been clearer tonight, not just words, but sobs. Real, human sobs. She flicked the light switch. Nothing. The bulb must have blown. Phone flashlight in hand, she descended. The air thickened with mildew and something sharper, copper. Rot. The beam trembled over cobwebbed boxes, an old rocking horse. Emily. She froze. That wasn't a child. The voice oozed from the shadows, guttural, wet, a sound no human throat could make. "Emily, closer now. I've been waiting." Something scraped against concrete. She spun, light slicing through the dark, just in time to see the rocking horse lurch forward. By itself. The flashlight died. Above her, the door slammed shut. The nursery monitor hissed with static, casting an eerie blue glow across Jenna's nightstand. She glanced at the screen. Swaddled in blankets, baby Liam slept peacefully, his chest rising and falling in the grainy infrared light. Then the singing started. A lullaby. Faint, warped, like a music box left out in the rain. Jenna sat bolt upright. The monitor's audio feed showed no movement in the crib. "Mark," she whispered, shaking her snoring husband. "Do you hear that?" He grunted, rolling over. The monitor crackled. For weeks, it happened only when she was alone, whispers between static, a giggle that wasn't Liam's. The pediatrician blamed sleep deprivation. The monitor company insisted their devices didn't pick up outside signals. Then came the night the lullaby stopped mid-note. Jenna. Her name slithered through the speaker in a voice like broken glass. The nursery camera flickered, just long enough to show Liam's empty crib rocking violently. She ran. The nursery door creaked open under her trembling hand. Moonlight spilled across the floorboards, the crib now still. Liam slept undisturbed. Then the monitor in her hand erupted with deafening static. Jenna. She spun, just as the device whispered 4 words that stopped her heart. "I'm in the crib now." The foreclosure listing called it a handyman's dream, but the moment Ryan turned the key in the creaking front door, the smell hit him, damp wood, stale air, and something faintly metallic. The walls were stained with shadows where pictures once hung, the floors scarred by dragged furniture. A bargain at twice the price. That first night, the house welcomed him properly. Ryan jolted awake at 3:17 a.m. to the sound of footsteps pacing the hallway, slow, deliberate, stopping just outside his bedroom door. His phone flashlight revealed nothing but dust motes dancing in the beam. Old houses settle, he told his coffee the next morning, ignoring how his reflection in the microwave door seemed to flicker. But the nights grew worse. Muffled arguments through the walls. The scent of perfume in empty rooms. Cabinet doors swinging open when his back was turned. The realtor's words echoed in his mind, asterisk, previous owner disappeared. Bank took the place as is. Asterisk. Then came the voice. Ryan. A man's roar, raw and furious, shaking the rafters, from directly above him. The attic. Heart hammering, Ryan pulled down the folding stairs. The wooden rungs groaned under his weight as he climbed into suffocating darkness. His phone light caught the glint of something in the corner, a leather-bound journal, covered in cobwebs. The last entry, dated the day the previous owner vanished, sent ice through his veins. Asterisk, they'll take the house, but not me. I'll make sure the next owner stays with me forever. Asterisk. Behind Ryan, the attic door slammed shut. Something chuckled in the dark.